She was initially reported missing in Irmo, getting some new details into News 19 regarding 39-year-old Elena Moore. She was initially reported missing in Irmo, and now law enforcement is giving us some more details. The Lexington County coroner says a preliminary autopsy found no signs of trauma to Elena Moore's body, including no gunshot wounds, no stab wounds, strangulation, blunt force trauma, or other kind of external injuries. None of that. Investigators, though, have not determined a cause of death. Moore disappeared earlier in the month. Her body was found last Wednesday. The coroner says toxicology testing, medical record reviews, and additional studies are still underway. So more updates to come.
47 minutes later, they saw her at the Publix. But you know how long it is to walk from Planet Fitness to the Publix? 13 minutes. Where did the other 30 minutes go to? Elena Moore, the young lady who was missing out of South Carolina, Lexington, actually. We all know they found her body, or a body that, matched the description of her. Now, we were all wondering what happened with her because all this video footage came out, images and everything else. Well, the autopsy results came back, and there's even more questions. Not only that, there is a theory that I don't think anybody has either brought up or talked about of maybe why she had this strange behavior. Could she been a victim of some sort of a phone scam? I'm going to explain everything. Fugitive TV, stay tuned. Welcome to Fugitive TV, and I am your host, Ray Marcel. And what we do here is we take a look at cases, missing individuals, any case that might need a different perspective or a different point of view. Because I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I ran for 15 years after I committed some white collar crime. And then I ended up living in different countries under different names, eventually turned myself in. Now I have this YouTube channel, and I'm a motivational speaker, and I help others locate missing people or even locate fugitives if they have done something horrific to a family member. Well, I've done one video already on Elena Moore, okay? Elena Moore is the lady who was missing out of Lexington, South Carolina. Now, they did find her body, okay? And at that time, they didn't say it was her or not. They just said that the body matched the description. Now, in case you don't know who Elena Moore is, I mean, she's been all over the news, but there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of questions about her that nobody can seem to answer. Well, just to give you a quick breakdown, all right? So, on May 31st, Elena Moore told her best friend, Sandra, that she was scared for her life, but then said, I can't talk to you right now about it. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Some people, or I should say big media, I don't think they're really focusing on the whole part that she told her friend, I'm scared for my life. Okay. But I can't talk to you right now. Now, this conversation allegedly, if I remember correctly, was had at a party, like a little gathering, a dinner gathering, okay, or a brunch. Well, June 4th, okay, June 4th comes around. Now, Elena did call her friend Sandra, maybe to talk about what she was talking about, who knows, but she did call Sandra. I'm sorry, not Sandra, Sandra. Sandra missed the call. So Sandra missed it. Never heard back from her again, okay? June 4th was also around the time where she is caught on video knocking on a person's door at an apartment building, picking up the DoorDash order, okay? Now, the person who lives in an apartment building opens up the DoorDash, thinks Elena, is the DoorDash woman. She's really not. She just picked the order up right after the DoorDash person dropped it off. And she's reading the receipt and everything, and then asked the guy, calls out his name, is either Jason, I think it was Jason Moore, which is the same last name as her, but no relation. And she looks like she's about to walk in the house.
John Moore?
Yep.
This is for you.
Thank you.
Just delivery route?
Yep.
And then, he kind of looks at her and she's like, oh, just the DoorDash, or, and he goes, yeah. And then she kind of looks confused and walks off. But before he opens the door, she's looking over the receipt. She's also breathing really heavy, breathing hard. You see her chest going, breathing hard, breathing heavy, right? So either she just got finished running, panicking, or something's going on because she's breathing very hard. And she's looking over the receipt. All right. Now, people do say that maybe his name was on the receipt. That's how she knows his name. Possible, right? I never DoorDash before, and I never really pay attention to the receipt on mine. So you guys let me know if the person's full name is on the DoorDash or even Uber receipt. I don't know. I never paid attention to that. But she looks at the receipt, studying the receipt, and then I guess, that's how she gets his name. Now, later on, the people who lived in that apartment, the wife or the girlfriend comes out, sees Elena again, but now she is shifting through packages at a neighbor's door. Now, this is an apartment building, people, and she had to go upstairs at that. So now she's shifting through packages at a neighbor's door. The neighbor looks at her and goes, do you know the neighbor? And she goes, no. She goes, what are you doing? And she goes, I don't know. Now, keeping the words of her saying, I don't know. Not only that, the neighbor said that she had her phone on her. So basically the way she described it was that she said when she opened up her door, she saw Elena at her neighbor's door going through packages, but also had her phone on her. She said either looked like she was researching or talking to somebody, but she could not tell. But she's looking through packages, I guess, with her phone in her other hand. Now, on the reports, they say her phone was always turned off. Okay, so her phone was always turned off. We don't know. But this is before she went missing the second time. Yes, folks, the second time. Because around that same time, there's a 911 call from her job from a gym. The 911 call reports her missing around that same time. Around the June 4th, June 5th-ish, they report her missing. My whole thing is, when I first heard that, because the media didn't really tell us this, why did her job report her missing for not showing up to work? Usually, a job is going to maybe call your family members, significant other, whatever else, right? They don't usually just report you missing. This reminds me of another case that I did. Okay? Spencer and Monique Tepe, the dentist who, along with his wife, was killed in their home. And his dentistry, the dentist's office reported him missing when he didn't show up to work. Not only did they did not just, or I should say, just report him missing, they actually drove to the house. And a lot of people thought that was suspicious. I didn't. I knew who it was right away, did it. But a lot of people were blaming the owner of the dentist's office. Maybe he did it for money, all kind of things. And I always said, maybe Spencer, who was the dentist, told somebody at his job or told them, hey, if I don't answer my phone, something's up. Come to find out, that is probably the belief that was what happened. So did she tell somebody at her job, like, if I don't show up to work, something's up? Because she already told Sandra that she feels fears for her life. So did she tell somebody at her work that too? Because would you tell one person or would you tell multiple? And if I don't show up, please, call somebody. Her friend also said that Elena was having issues in the relationship with her husband. Now, they were together for a long time. I think it was like, I don't remember. I don't have the notes in front of me. You guys let me know, 12, 13 years or something like that. But they were only married for 2. But they were going through some relationship issues, allegedly. There's reports that she wasn't even living at the house with him. I don't know. One report that we need to get cleared up is, now, around June 4th, she calls Sandra, right? Sandra doesn't answer the phone. Then next she's seen on a ring cam. looking at an Uber receipt or DoorDash receipt, gives the man food, and then later on that same day, I guess is going through packages with her phone. Then there's another picture of her at what looks like the same apartment building, but maybe at a different apartment building. There's no glasses on her face. She doesn't have her phone on her face, but this is a different one. They report her missing her job. Okay. Then from there, she gets admitted into Three Rivers Hospital, mental health hospital. She checks herself out of the mental health hospital. All right. And I still haven't seen an actual clear report of who admitted her to Three Rivers. I have seen some people or some reports say she did it herself. I've seen some say the husband, but I haven't seen anything clearly that says who admitted her. But we do know, I guess she admitted herself. Now, HIPAA laws, they probably cannot disclose a lot of things when it comes to health-wise, because that's part of your health, mental health, right? So they probably can't disclose who admitted her. Who knows? But I haven't seen anything in concrete of who admitted her. If you guys know something different, you can let me know below. Well, she gets out, and June 11th, 9:17 p.m., she's last seen on surveillance leaving Planet Fitness, then walks towards a wooded area behind a Lowe's store. All right. Now, the wooded area, the way the media was saying, was like you would think it's like this big forest, but it's not. It's just they're doing some development back there, things like that. Now, yeah, you shouldn't be back there walking, but that's where she was last seen. Then they come out footage that she was last seen at Publix. Now, my last video, I showed you guys, Publix, Lowe's, and Planet Fitness is almost the same strip mall. Now, it's two different parking lots, but you can walk them, okay? It's not like two different towns or two different cities. The media, we listen to them, they make it sound like it's two different towns. That's what now we got to shift the search to Publix. So when you hear that, you're thinking like, we're in a whole different town, but it wasn't a whole different town. It's the same little area. It's the same plaza pretty much. Just a little street separates these plazas, okay? They should have been searching the whole area to begin with, not just the plaza on the side of the street, you would think. So here's something I wanted to show you guys, all right? The apartments that she kept being at was right here. The apartments allegedly was right here. Now, this is Lowe's. This is Planet Fitness. Okay, so she was in there working out, checked out, and then start walking, they said, behind the Lowe's into the wooded area. Now, these are the apartments she kept going to on June 4th. Then they said the last time they see her was at Publix, meaning she walked from here, okay? Then allegedly, I guess, went into this area back here. Now, like I say, it's not really a heavy wooded area like you would think the news is saying, but this is where she went. Then was seen at Publix. Now, the timeline, okay, it really does not add up a lot. I'm going to tell you right now. She signed in at the gym at 6:40 p.m. She was last seen leaving the gym at 8:30 p.m. Then surveillance caught her at Publix at 9:17 p.m. Meaning 47 minutes later, they saw her at the Publix. But you know how long it is to walk from Planet Fitness to the Publix? 13 minutes. It's only a 13-minute walk, it's showing here. So let's say it took her 15 minutes. Where did the other 30 minutes go to? Was the other 30 minutes her back in here? Doing whatever? Maybe going back to the apartment building and then coming back? I don't know. But why did everything within a few weeks time span pretty much dwell on this location, from the apartments, Planet Fitness to Publix, and then she was found down the road over here off of Old Cherokee? Now, here's something else that was interesting that needs to be cleared up. is her vehicle. Now, at first, the news, not just anybody on Facebook, people, the news reported that her vehicle was left in the parking lot of Lowe's, where she was last seen at, and her husband went and got the vehicle. That's what the news reported. Because a lot of people are wondering how she get to Planet Fitness in the first place. She drive? Did she Uber? Did she walk? That's a long walk. Now, police came out and said the total opposite. Police came out during a press conference, said the husband always had the vehicle in his possession. So how did she get to Planet Fitness then? That's still a question up in the air. And who's telling the truth? Did he always have the vehicle or did he not? Because somebody's lying. Hey, look for yourself. Somebody's not telling the truth. Now, there's also a report that her caller ID, somebody allegedly is going through her caller ID or her phone. All right. And I guess they found something about calls that Elena made the day before. But they still have not told us about these calls. Who are these calls to? How long were these calls? Now, think back to what the lady said, the DoorDash, where she's at her apartment or whatever. When she walked out, she said she was on the phone, but didn't realize if she was talking to somebody or researching or doing something with the packages. All right. Now, before we get into the whole phone thing, like I said in the beginning, phone scam, right? And you're probably thinking like, what do you mean by this phone scam? Watch, it's going to make sense to you. It's going to make sense to you, right? But before we get in that, the autopsy came back today. All right. The autopsy, which I am going to read to you guys right now, you're going to even have more questions about this autopsy. So this is from News 19. It says Lexington County, South Carolina. Autopsy results have not identified a cause of death for Elena K. Moore, whose body was found last week in a wooded area in Lexington County. All right. So it says it has not found a cause of death. Coroner Margaret Fisher released the findings Monday following a forensic autopsy conducting Saturday, June 20th at Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston. According to the coroner's office, the examination found no evidence of traumatic injury. The autopsy did not identify an immediate cause of death. Examination of the body revealed no evidence or traumatic injury, including no bruising, lacerations, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, blunt force trauma, strangulation, or other external injuries. As a result, officials said the cause of death remains pending. Additional evaluation is required, including I can't even say this word, histological studies, review of medical records, and toxicology testing. Okay, so the toxicology report has not came back yet. The coroner's office said no further information will be released until the additional studies are completed, and a pathologist determines the cause and manner of death. No further information will be released by the Lexington County Coroner's Office until all pending studies have been completed and pathologists, and it goes on to tell you all this and also tells you that her body was discovered last Wednesday, June 17th in the wooded area, okay? So right now, we people have no official cause of death. No physical wounds so far that they're saying was done to her body. Now we're all wondering, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Now remember, the tox results haven't came back yet. So is it a case of certain medication? Something was given to her? Did she OD herself? We don't know. Now, here's the theories. First theory, she was mentally going through some issues. She was paranoid, thought people were after her, thought people were going to do something to her, and pretty much started going crazy, okay? Which is a possibility. But why would this start all of a sudden? Has she ever been admitted to a mental hospital before? I don't see anybody in the big news media asking that question. Has she ever been admitted before? Has she ever had any mental health issues before? Second theory, which some people are leaning on. I'm not blaming him, I'm not saying it's him, but some people are leaning that the husband could look suspicious. Because if you don't know, he was ex-law enforcement. Now, allegedly, he's an investigator, a private investigator. So if anybody knows how to do something and get away with it, it would be something like him, because he would know what police will look for. He would know what law enforcement will look for. And if he's an investigator or a private investigator, he would know what investigators and detectives will look for. So he would be a person that knows how to do certain things and cover his tracks. And if they allegedly had issues beforehand, what were these issues? How bad were these issues? She said she feared for her life. Was it because of him, or was it because she was paranoid? Guys, there's a third scenario that could be possible that I have not seen anybody mentioned. Could she be a victim of some sort of phone scam? Now, I'm pretty sure you might get ready to turn this channel off right now. Phone scam? How dare? What do you mean a phone scam? I'm pretty sure. But just bear with me real quick. Bear with me. For you guys that don't know, there's a lot of different phone scams that go out there. And I'm not just talking about the people that call you from Nigeria, okay, and claim they're going to send you $5,000, you know, or the people that say you owe taxes and you maybe you really don't. You know, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who can scam you life or death. And you might be thinking like, what do you mean life or death? What are they gonna get out of it? Sometimes just S's and giggles, okay? Now, you guys know, just follow me and been watching Beginning the Station. I told you guys I was on the run. So while on the run, I got the decency of meeting some people in the underground world. Not only that, when I had to go to jail, I got to stay with some people who are in the underground world, who do certain things like scam people, who do certain things like spoof phone calls. Now, spoofing phone call is you have the technology to call somebody's cell phone, okay? Let's say, for example, this is just an example. You know a lady named Lisa. You know Lisa's mom's name is Amber. Let's just say you know Lisa's mom's name is Amber. You know Lisa's phone number and you know Lisa's mom's phone number, who is Amber. You call Lisa's phone, but you spoof your phone number to make it look like it's her mom, Amber. So when you're calling Lisa's phone, Lisa thinks, oh, it's my mom calling me. Hey, mom. It's not really your mom. Now, two things can happen. It could be somebody on the other line, a man, saying, hey, I have your mom, and this is what you need to do, or your mom is going to be terminated or deleted. And then they'll have some recording in the background using AI or something like that. And you might hear her say something in the background, scream, it's kind of muffled, and you're like, oh my God, they got my mom. And then they tell you, if you call the police, we're watching you. We got your phone tapped. You can't call the cops or your mom is going to get it. So what would some people do? Some people won't call. And they're going to think, oh, they got my mom. Now, some people might demand some sort of money. We need you to get some money, send some money here, drop it off here, or whatever it is. Some people will do it just for giggles, just to see how far you would go. Don't take my word for it. Do you guys remember the poor lady who lost her life delivering food? You guys remember her? And we have Elena walking up to the door, following a DoorDash driver. Now this poor lady who lost her life delivering food, I'm going to pull her up right now so you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. And then the guy came out with the weapon, pointed it at her, and remember, took her life because they were both victims of a phone scam.
Released body camera video shows officers confronting this Ohio homeowner who allegedly shot and killed An innocent Uber driver after getting caught up in a phone scam.
He was after blood money.
81-year-old William Brock appearing exasperated and confused as he explained a threatening phone call he says he got earlier that day from a man demanding $12,000.
It's got his name and phone number and what the ransom was.
But the Clark County Sheriff's Office says that phone call was a scam, one that Uber driver Loletha Hall was unknowingly wrapped up in when she was requested through the app to pick up a package at Brock's home. Chilling video from that Uber's dash cam capturing Brock pointing a handgun at Hall as she backs away in terror.
It was an Uber driver. Her name was Loletha Hall. I believe I'm pronouncing her name right. Then it was an 83-year-old man named William Brock. They were both targeted by scammers who called one. So one called him and said the Uber driver at his door was there to rob him. And I believe not only just rob him, but also had like a family member hostage, something like that of that nature. Okay. And then she was scammed because they used her to go to the door. They made an Uber order and used his address. So they both got set up. So you have this Uber driver coming to the door thinking she's delivering some food, but she's really not delivering food to this guy because it was a scam. Then you have this guy expecting an Uber driver, thinking that she was going to rob him and that she also had like a relative of his captive or something like that. And he can't call the police, so he shows up with the weapon and then fires at her, and the poor lady lost her life. You guys remember the pizza bomber? Who remembers the pizza bomber? The pizza bomber this was 2003, okay? Erie, Pennsylvania. This is one of the first reporting incidents of somebody pretty much being used over some sort of a scam, okay? Brian Wells, he was a pizza delivery driver who worked at a Mamma Mia's pizzeria for 10 years. He was called to make a delivery at a remote TV tower location. When he arrived, conspirators locked a metal collar bomb around his neck. They handed him a note, a homemade weapon, and sent him to rob a PNC bank for $250,000.
Today marks the 20th anniversary of the pizza bomber, an event that will always be part of Erie history.
See, the lead FBI investigator says the case was complex, but it continues to fascinate people every day. On August 28, 2003, an event took place in Erie that would captivate the attention of the nation with the pizza bomber case. 20 years ago, Jet 24 Action News was on the scene, and now today we hear from the lead FBI investigator of the case, Jerry Clark. Clark describes the case as sometimes bad things happen in good places to good people. He recalls the most challenging part of the case was linking the deaths of 3 individuals over the span of three weeks together. He says this was also a unique aspect.
So they sent him to a PNC bank. This man shows up with a pizza. Then some sort of way gets a collar around him and say, you got to rob this bank or the bomb's going to go off. So what do you think the man did? He went to go rob the bank. Now, this was on national TV. After that, police have him surrounded. He's like sitting on a street with a bomb strapped around him. And he's pleading to the officers, hey, I got nothing to do with it. This bomb is real. And it blows up right there on live TV. Now, FBI concluded that FBI said that Wells likely was a willing participant who believed the bomb was fake, meaning he would do it and he thought the bomb was fake. And he thought it was all staged and he would walk away clean. But people have came out afterwards, okay, and said that he was grabbed at gunpoint, forced into it. A woman named Jessica Hoopsick later confessed she introduced Wells to the conspirators, suggested he may have been lured and then trapped once he realized the bomb was real. Okay? So whether Brian Wells walked into the situation willingly or not, The moment that bomb went off, it didn't matter. He was dead. And the people who put him there were sitting at home watching it all on the news. Now, the people who did it, they did get convicted. They found out who did it. Come to find out, it was just old lady who put it all together. She planned the whole thing. And what she was trying to do was get money, enough money to hire a hitman, okay, to take out her husband. And she had co-conspirators. She had a handyman that made the bomb. And this pizza guy, whether he was in it or not, or held at gunpoint, either way, the bomb went off, he died, and these people on TV watching it. Could this be maybe something that happened with Miss Moore? Think about it. She's acting strange. Now, allegedly, she fears for her life. She's walking off into these places. She's going to these strange apartment door numbers like she's looking for something, like she's searching for something, trying to find an answer to something. Searching through packages with her phone in her hand, that the witness said, like she's searching or was talking to somebody. Did somebody tell her to go to the apartment? And that maybe when you get there, he opens the door, you walk in. And that's why she went to walk in and she was like, oh, just a DoorDash delivery? Just a DoorDash delivery? Oh, and walks away. As in like she was expecting something more. And now we have the autopsy results. Art came back with nothing. So now we have to see about the tox. So what was in her system? So it is a very good chance, possibility, because remember, I read to you guys, there's reports saying that people are going through her caller ID, saying that there were strange calls that was made before she even went missing. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm not saying this is what happened at all. But what I am saying is you cannot rule this out because none of us following this story knows exactly what happened. The only person that knows that what happened is no longer with us, Elena. Unless there is somebody else that's involved in this, which there could be, we don't know. Or she could have just, lost sanity there we don't know. But I started thinking about this today. And I was like, hold on. Could this possibly be because I'm looking at these little clues. She was on her phone looking through packages. She's at the DoorDash, or she's at the door delivering food, or she's not actually delivering food. She followed the DoorDash driver up the steps and then pretty much intercepted and picked up the receipt and reading the whole receipt and says the guy's name and then goes to walk in and was like, oh, just delivery. Like she was expected to walk in. And then they ask her, what is she doing? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Was she getting sent on some wild goose chase, really not knowing what she's doing, but could not say anything because she was being threatened? It's a very good possibility. I just showed you the pizza bomber. Very good possibility. I just showed you the DoorDash driver or the Uber driver who lost her life. And not only that, they're saying kidnapping scams are on a rise right now.
This is a ripoff that the FBI says is exploding right now all across the country. Michael Rollard says he got a terrifying phone call at 3 in the morning a few nights ago with his mother's name and phone number displayed right there on the cell phone screen. Then he heard what sounded like a distressed woman with a muffled voice pleading for help. And then a guy claiming to be a kidnapper gets on the line demanding money from him. He says the caller claimed to have kidnapped his mom and was demanding he send money via a Cash App right then and there.
So let me quickly run down these different type of phone scams that can go on, okay? You have the kidnapping scam. And I told you, I gave you an example of this before, where they'll call and they say there's a loved one who's kidnapped, Okay. And in the background, you hear a voice and it sounds very similar to your loved one's voice. Sometimes they use AI. Sometimes they're able to manipulate the voice to make it sound like them. Then they tell you, don't call the police, send us over some money, or do this and do that. And what do? A lot of times you don't call the police. Okay. Especially if you go to call the loved one's phone. Let's say you got a second phone nearby, you call and their phone's not answering. They can figure out how to do that too. You also have, it's a hostage one to do as well. They'll call and they'll act like they're a member of the cartel and pretty much say, hey, such and such owed us a lot of money, your son or your relative, whatever it is, owed us a lot of money, and you guys are going to die and we got to get this money. Or you got to go do this for us and you guys will be safe. Now they got you out there doing something stupid. They got you out there trying to get a key of cocaine and transport it somewhere. All because you told over the phone. All because they told you over the phone. It happens, guys. Just recently, there was 3, I want to say, teenage boys that held somebody hostage trying to get crypto out of them. All because of a phone call. A phone told them, hey, you got to go hold this person hostage or such and such dies. Or you guys die. And they went and did it. And they didn't know any better. And it just recently happened. So these things do happen. You guys let me know below. What do you think? Okay. Do you find it odd the autopsy came back with nothing? Is it poison? OD? Do you think she was really just mentally going insane? Do you think the husband has something to do with it? Or this theory I just gave you? Does it make sense? You guys let me know below. All right. Comment below everything. Please like, subscribe, join the membership that helps support the channel. It helps me grow. It helps me to where I can start doing this full time for you guys. All right. And not only just for you guys, but for people who actually need this. So thank you so much for your support. Okay. So comment below at least your city and state of where you're calling from, because it helps with the algorithm. Until next time, please take care of one another. Love one another. Look out at your surroundings. Watch your surroundings. This is Fugitive TV and I'm out.